In this video, we're going to continue by talking about removing our subdomain and then creating a tree environment for our systems. Now for this lab, there is one typo that we will see. There is an typo on step number 8 where the IP address is incorrect. However, here we are. We have server DC1 and server SA1. SA1 was recently promoted to a domain controller as a subdomain. The first thing we want to do is remove that feature. So I'm going to open up PowerShell. And in PowerShell, I'm going to do uninstall -adds domain controller. There we are. Specify this is the last domain controller and remove application partitions. And then the credentials will be get-credentials. When I press enter, it's going to ask me for the credentials I want to use. I'm going to specify AZ800 administrator and password 01. Local admin password 01. Password 01. And yes. So this is going to remove the, it's going to keep the domain controller role on the system, but it's going to remove it as an active domain controller in our domain. And then we'll reboot. And I will come back when that is done. All right, the uninstall has finished and the system has rebooted. Let's go ahead and log in. And in this case, because we removed the domain, we now have to log in as the local administrator. And once it comes up, we need to start configuring DNS. Remember, when we promoted this to a domain controller, it would have set itself as its own DNS server, which we still want, but we want to prepare it for our new tree environment. So let's go to Server Manager, Tools, and DNS on server SA1. And what I want to do is I want to expand SA1 and conditional forwarders and right click new. I want to specify for the az800.corp domain forward to 10.10. Did not like my keypad. 10.99.0.220. And OK. And now that I have a conditional forwarder on server SA1 pointing to AZ800, I now want to do the same thing from AZ800 from DC1. I want to set up a conditional forwarder, new conditional forwarder for new tree.corp. And this is where the typo is in the book. It is actually 10.99.0.203. So whenever server SA1 wants to find new tree.corp, it will send it to SA1. And whenever SA1 wants to find AZ800.corp, it will send it to DC1. All right, now back on SA1, we now want to promote our domain controller. So if we go back to Server Manager, close this, we have the flag here and it says, hey, you want to promote this as a domain controller. We have Active Directory services installed. Let's go ahead and promote. In the deployment wizard here, we want to, when it comes up, we will specify add a new domain to an existing forest. So our tree domain, excuse me. Our existing forest is az800.corp, and our new domain is going to be newtree.corp. And in order to do this, we will need to specify some credentials. these credentials are what will allow us to join the AZ800. So AZ800 \administrator and password 01. Okay, and next. On the pretty much at this point, it's going to be next. Yep, next, and install. All right. Asks me if I want to be a DNS server and a global catalog, and I do. It will ask me for a DSRM password here in just a second, and I will type in password 01 for both of those. There we go. Nope. All right, that took a moment, but that is fine. Password 01, password 01. Next. It will verify that the NetBIOS name is unique, and then I will click next. Next. By the way, this is one of the reasons why I like PowerShell so much. We don't have to wait for each of these. We can simply type the command and let it run, and then it will just run. All right, I paused the video there for a second just to speed it along for you. We can see, yep, there are lots of warnings here, however, no errors. So I'm going to go and install. And then at this point, it will install Active Directory. It will configure the domain controller with the new tree domain as a member of the az800.corp forest, and then reboot. So I will pause and see you once we have rebooted. All right, and after several minutes of restarting, the system has rebooted here, and I've logged into server SA1. We can see here we are now a member of the newtree.corp domain, as opposed to the AZ800 or even the workgroup of AZ800. If I come up here, Tools, Active Directory, Domains, and Trusts, we will see right here, now we have two different domains which can trust each other. If I right click AZ800 and go to properties on the trust tab, we will see, yes, we trust and we trust. Both this is trusted by and is trusting. So outgoing versus an incoming trust. I see right there, it also says that these are transitive trusts as opposed to a one-way non-transitive trust. If we go into DNS, and we look into our forward lookup zones on this machine, on server SA1, we will see, yes, we now have newtree.corp. So the forwarder that we had previously set up over here on DC1 can now reach SA1 and find records locally.